Hello, I'd like to make another follow-up video on the financial obligations that are ongoing in Southeast Asia and how they're related to the rights and responsibilities under the Constitution of Japan. And in doing that, there's some details in the bottom of this video that persons involved in the Japanese society need to be aware of as to how they're making financial contributions. I make financial contributions to the Japanese education system because I believe it should be fair, and that the fairness of the budgeted programs is part of what I'm going to put into a discussion in the details of this video. I get my postal mail. I got my postal mail today, and I got a book from one of the contributing donating universities that I give to, called Waseda University. And this is a book of all the donors that contribute to Waseda University in Japan. But I make contributions to Ritsumeikan University, Tsukuba University, Tokyo University, and other national universities of Japan. The fairness of what the education system does in Japan under the Constitution is very important, and I am a concerned person. I sent this letter that is to go to Japan, and it was sent back to me. It's supposed to go to the Committee on Education, Culture, Science at the House of Councilors, which they have a separate police authority. And it's relevant to how these education programs are budgeted with the Community Safety Bureau in Japan. Let me read what's in the details so that the audience can further understand the relation of the House of Councilors, their police authority, and the constitutional authority of the Japanese Public Safety Commission. The Community Safety Bureau is responsible for crime prevention, combating juvenile delinquency, and pollution control, from Wikipedia contributors, National Police Agency. The education policy, the Basic Act on Education, Act number 120, the preamble. We, the Japanese people, wish to further develop the democratic and cultural state we have built through tireless efforts. Also hope to contribute to world peace and to improving the welfare of humanity. To realize these ideals, we will implement education that values the dignity of the individual, that endeavors to cultivate a people rich in humanity and creativity, who long for truth and justice, and who honor the public spirit that passes on traditions and that aims to create a new culture. We hereby enact this act in accordance with the spirit of the Constitution of Japan, in order to establish the foundations of education and promote an education that opens the way of our country's future. As from the preamble of the education policy and the Ministry of Education, Science, and Technology. And this is important as to the Society of Japan and all other people who contribute financially, where the budgeted financial programs of education systems, the Japan Science and Technology Agency, and National Public Safety Commission, where 2 points of concern involve supervising matters related to police education and information technology analysis. I'd like to offer this discussion that in review of the Administrative Appeals Act, that can be referenced with Wikipedia, and in review of the Administrative Complaint Review Act, Act number 68, 2014, request for review with regard to inaction. There's some Japanese in the context, but it's translated into English from a source, Article 3, when a person has applied for a disposition with an administrative agency based on laws and regulations, but the administrative agency takes no action for the application based on laws and regulations. Hereinafter referred to as inaction, the same applies hereafter. Although a certain period of time has elapsed after the relevant application, the person may file a request for review with regard to the relevant inaction pursuant to the provisions of the following article. And that is part of the Administrative Complaint Review Act. And this is to be understood as the Immigration Control and Refugee Act, Law Number Cabinet Order 319 of 1951, and also the duties, administrative duties, Article 5, the National Public Safety Commission, within the Police Act, Act number 196 of 2012, as amended. I want to read that more. If you want to research it, there's a link that is not inactive, but you can go to eGov and the National Public Safety Commission, Article 5, Duties and Administrative Duties. The National Public Safety Commission shall be responsible for the protection of individual rights and freedoms and the maintenance of public safety, and order by administrating police operations related to national public security, supervising matters related to police education, police communication, information technology analysis, criminal forensics, crime statistics, and police equipment, and coordinating police administration. So if you go back to this letter, that it was stamped by the Japanese Postal Service and returned, it's supposed to go to the Committee on Education, Culture, Science, House of Counselors. This is the envelope that I received separately, I think last year, but the postage stamps are stamped, and it has a return address of Waseda University, which it should be a concern as to why only Waseda University is sending this postal mail, because other universities were given contributions, and they were involved by the response of electronic debit recognition by email, but there's no postal mail matter involved, which implies foreign officials, which is a separate issue of this. I'll keep reading this Article 5, Duties and Responsibilities. In addition to the provisions of the preceding paragraph, the National Public Safety Commission shall be tasked with assisting the Cabinet in the affairs of the Cabinet with respect to certain important Cabinet policies related to the tasks referred to in the preceding paragraph. The National Public Safety Commission shall assist the Cabinet Secretariat in carrying out the duties set forth in the preceding paragraph. In order to accomplish the duties set forth in paragraph 1, the National Public Safety Commission shall administer the National Police Agency with respect to the following affairs: planning and drafting a system related to the police, matters relating to the national budget for the police, matters relating to the evaluation of national police policies concerning the police, matters related to the operation of the police in the following cases related to the public security of the country, cases related to large-scale disasters that could cause anxiety to the public minds, incidents related to disturbances that may disturb the tranquility of the region, cases involving seizure of aircraft, extortion by hostages, possession of explosives, and other crimes that have a significant impact on international relations and may significantly harm the vital interests of other countries. Matters relating to the planning and implementation of the plan for dealing with the emergency referred to in Article 71. Area-wide organized crime and other cases that fall under any of the following. Matters related to the posture of the police to deal with the situation. Incidents that harm or may harm the life, body, and property of individuals and public safety in order a wide area of the country. Cases that harm or may harm the life, body, or property of Japan nationals and the vital interests of Japan outside of Japan. Cybersecurity refers to cybersecurity as stipulated in Article 2 of the Cybersecurity Basic Law Act number 104 of 2016. Incidents that harm or may harm the life, body, and property of individuals and public safety and or caused by illegal acts using information technology, hereafter referred to as cyber incidents. This item and Article 25, Item 1, referred to as a serious cyber incident in Item 16 and Article 61-3. Cases in which the implementation of the following affairs or projects is or may be seriously hindered. Administrative work related to the management of important information or the operation of important information systems of the national or local governments. Projects related to projects that are the basis of people's lives and economic activities and are likely to have a significant impact on people's lives or economic activities if their functions are suspended or deteriorated. Cases in which advanced technical methods are used or cases in which advanced technology is required to deal with them. Cases involving persons located outside of Japan who engage in illegal activities that rise to cyber incidents, which I'll stop there and ask that people read the description at the bottom of this video and recognize that it's being made by my testimony. In the regards of Wikipedia and technology, Microsoft Corporation and its involvement with the internet technology has been involved and has been mentioned in numerous letters by electronic mail as to the defense of their patent technology and their technology licensing authority as Microsoft Corporation. This is from a notebook that I keep. It's one of the 7 or 8 notebooks that I keep. And what I did was I used Google Translate and I translated a lot of the key words that are in Wikipedia, that Wikipedia can be translated into different foreign languages. Let me read some of the English as to how it's translated from Japanese. The form of attestation engagement for the operating organizational goals, the safeguarding of assets for data integrity, effectively evaluation of evidence values to maintain and achieve, manage the control tests of the information system for business applications and or infrastructure for the audit of technology. So all I did was use the Google translation device and Wikipedia that I also contribute to as an educational source. And I translated it into Japanese. I do speak some Japanese. So I think this is very important as to the House of Councilors having their own independent police authority and how the laws are applicable with their rights of the National Public Safety Commission. If they could reference further the International Bankers Association Japan International Banking Association is the trade association for foreign banks and security firms based in Japan. It also has associate members from companies involved in financial services. We are a well-respected voice within the financial services community and seek to promote a strong and efficient market in Japan. We have a range of committees and working groups to support members' priorities and also put on an extensive program of information events. From who we are, Public Policy Statement, International Banking Association. Also, there's reference to the Wikipedia contributors, National Police Agency, Japan, Wikipedia, the Free Encyclopedia, Wikipedia contributors, the National Public Safety Commission, Japan, Wikipedia, the Free Encyclopedia, Wikipedia. And I also included a continued reference to the Securities Exchange Commission, Filing Compliance Review Authority, and United States Sentencing Commission. The Division of Corporation Finance, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Postal Address 100 F Street, Northeast, Washington, D.C., Postal Zip Code 20549. Edgar Standard Industrial Codes, Standard Industrial Code 8748, Business Consulting Services. A lot of people receive government benefits that can be scholarships in the education system of Japan, and how the Japan Science and Technology Agency offers budgeted information that is for the Society of Japan to cooperate under the lawful cause of the Japanese Constitution. This is very important for government benefits and our tax principle because of our taxpayer rights that are mutual but separate by the jurisdiction, and where the tax dollars or tax yen in the case of Japan performs. And I'll read what that states from the United States Sentencing Commission on basic economic offenses. Government benefits in a case involving government benefits. Loss shall be considered to be not less than the value of the benefits obtained by unintended recipients or diverted to unintended uses, as the case may be. From the United States Sentencing Commission Guidelines, Part B, Basic Economic Offenses, subsection 2B1.1, Application Notes, subsection F, Special Rules. When organizations are considered for compliance, that the Constitution takes concern, an issue of compliance programs that the director and the assets under management that these budgeted programs perform has been a long-going concern as to how the discovery of the performance in the assets under management for initial public offerings or government debt instruments are involved by the organization, and its registration as its legal entity is permitted to be recognized as public information. The United States Sentencing Commission issues guidelines that international auditing and budgeting authorities should take notice to these activities that I am drawing attention to, that the House of Counselors and their budgeted affairs in Japan under the Constitution are receiving payments to involve the construction of laws under the Japanese Constitution, that there is a mutual concern for the performance of technology that the National Public Safety Commission honors by their education and separate from the Japan Science and Technology Agency. And I believe it's important to understand how this United States Sentencing Commission then allows for the compliance programs of directors and officers by their insurance to perform in the jurisdiction, and to allow for them to give attention to the programs as to how that compliance is resolved through the assessments of the information that the budgeted financial authority gives to officers who have insurance liability and their rights as experts to then determine the technologies that are being used. In a very simple form, any document that is written, such as this notebook, it's a type of ancient technology. It's called a book. The United States Sentencing Commission Guidelines, Section 8A1.2, Application Instruction Organizations, Commentary Application Notes. Subsection B, high-level personnel of the organization means individuals who have substantial control over the organization or who have a substantial role in making a policy within the organization. The term includes a director, an executive officer, an individual in charge of a major business or functional unit of the organization, such as sales, administration, finance, individual, and substantial ownership interest. High-level personnel of a unit of the organization, how that's defined. Subsection C, substantial authority personnel means individuals who, within the scope of their authority, exercise substantial measure of discretion in acting on behalf of an organization. The term includes high-level personnel of the organization, individuals who exercise substantial supervisory authority, and any other individuals who, although not part of the organization's management, nevertheless exercise substantial discretion when acting within the scope of their authority. Whether an individual falls within the category must be determined on a case-by-case basis. Vulnerable victim defined means a person A, who is a victim of the offense of conviction or any conduct for which the defendant is accountable under Section 1B1.3, relevant conduct, and B, who is unusually vulnerable due to age, physical, or mental condition, who is otherwise particularly susceptible to the criminal conduct. Subsection B applies to offenses involving an unusual vulnerable victim in which the defendant knows or should have known of the victim's unusual vulnerability. From the United States Sentencing Commission, Section 3A1.1. I think that this is very important because of the case-by-case nature of what the Constitution of Japan is admitting to with the Japan Science and Technology Agency and vulnerable victim, that people in the Japanese society just assume that their postal mail matters and the House of Counselors, by their police authority, is functioning by all the laws that they pay taxes and involve what the vulnerable victim would mean. And I am concerned as to how people then act in accordance with their compliance programs. I don't receive lots of postal mail in these regards. I send lots of email to authorities in Japan, such as the Japan Science and Technology Agency, and to Waseda University, Tokyo University, Ritsumeikan University, Tsukuba University, who claim that they are involved in engaging in these technology activities that government benefits. And the way that government benefits are a mutually concerned activity by international relations and the education policy. But I do not hear back from any of those people. And this is not the only envelope that I received back that's stamped by the Japanese Postal Service as postal mail matters for the House of Counselors. I think that the government of Japan should be concerned, and that Alphabet Incorporated, according to their transparency policy, shouldn't be held accountable as a public offering as to how the United States Sentencing Commission would claim that I am a vulnerable victim, and that this should be used as testimony with all other YouTube videos, and the way that the Federal Rules of Evidence and the United States courts have some concern that there's no cause that I am going to file in the Supreme Court, and it could be a hate crime against the Supreme Court of the United States, which I would advocate if anybody would write back to me. But for what goes on with the tax principle and the Internal Revenue Service, there's some serious concern that I hope people can get this video and understand what's really going on with individual property rights, and how Japan is not the only nation in Southeast Asia, or not the only country that is involved by how the technology rights are being shared to divide the postal service and the postal jurisdiction with postal mail matters. So I hope this clarifies my concern about vulnerable victim, the case-by-case involvement of the substantial authority as individuals are given judgment for their professional responsibility insurance, the performance of that insurance in the constitutional jurisdiction, how educational programs are not to abuse citizens' rights as the police are educated, and as the education policy is to offer people qualified occupational skills so that they may obtain gainful employment. Thank you, and I hope that the public can take action with this in regards for their own personal benefits and all other public information that's available in the jurisdiction of Japan, and what it could mean with postal mail matters in the United States. I'm Andrew Stephen Drastic Jr. Thank you.